Hooptie Joyride with Brian and Steve.
All right. Welcome back to the Hooptie Joyride. We got a good episode for you this week. We're taking our tops off. No.
I sure hope not.
It's not that kind of show, but we're all talking about convertibles. It's going to be a fun week. Got a lot of great picks for you, some interesting things. Collector, how you doing?
Hey, everything is going well. Looking forward to it as spring starts to roll in the Northeast. Yeah, so I think it's a great topic for everybody to get ready.
It's true. It is weather appropriate.
Cars and coffee shows and events are all starting to spring up now. So looking forward to it.
And every high school and college graduate that's hoping for a vehicle as a graduation present wants a convertible as well. So we've got some good picks. Speaking of the thumbnail that folks have seen, there's a vehicle on there, an MG that you and I actually used to own. I believe we bought it with no motor or transmission, but it had been quote unquote race prepped. So it had a cheap roll bar and coilover shock conversion and some pretty terrible wiring, if I recall. It's been a long time since we owned it.
I think it was actually set up for a Mazda rotary engine in it at that point in time, if I recall.
That's true. It did have a bunch of very terrible welding of new engine mounts and transmission mounts and stuff that we looked at and said, this is not for us.
That is correct. We moved on.
We moved on. We got lucky though. I think what did we pay? $150 for it, and then turned around and sold it for essentially the same thing to a team who was going to turn it into a Lemons racer. So other than the gas and the sweat that we had to do to push it around, didn't cost us anything.
That's correct. Yep.
So, cool. And I think the other picture in the thumbnail, you have a bit of a story around.
You got to share your screen, Doug.
Do I?
Yep. Don't say it yet for everybody. There we go.
All right. So hold on. So the other picture in the thumbnail, this cool little buggy convertible old school ride, you have a neat story around. What's that?
Yes. So it's a viewer submission coming to us from South Jersey. The fellow sent it in a while back. We finally decided this is a great episode to use it on because it's convertible. It's a former Shriners go-kart, and he uses it now for parades around his town. Little events like that. So he's having a ball with it. He submitted it to us. Looks like he's got a 40 Ford in the background there. So maybe someday we'll get some photos and a story on that also. But yeah, Shriners mobile that he runs around parades with.
That's cool. And that's the whole thing about convertibles. I mean, no matter what it is or what it looks like, you can have fun and a little bit of wind in your hair. So
that's right.
Good stuff. All right. Should we kick it off with then our first selection?
Yes. What do we have?
Coming to us from Redwood City, California, using about a little over half of our fictional $5,000 budget. For those of you that are viewing us for the first time, we set a fictional budget of $5,000 to buy, repair, get whatever vehicle back on the road. So just gives us a little bit of a cap. So we're not drooling over Ferraris and Lambos and other stuff that I typically only dream about. So this particular one, $2,700. It is got a new clutch, but it does have some issues. The air sensors, there's something wrong with it. And as you can see, well, you could see if there was maybe a better photo. We talked about this last episode. Come on, people, take a good photo. We've got a better one, but this cannot be how you introduce your sale to the world. This one's coming to us on Facebook Marketplace. The fuel pump does not work. So hard to tell if it's operable or not. I got to admit, at this price point, I'd expect a running driving Miata and one with maybe a body colored door. But, this is an option. It does seem to be in okay shape. Little bit better photo, although he got the cell phone shadow. It's
the new girl badge.
Yeah.
It's the phone edition Miata.
This is the TikTok edition Miata. But it does make it a little difficult to see all of the front end there. But Hooptie approved. Got a little dirt on the trunk lid there. Top seems to be in decent shape. And now we get a better shot of that door issue. So the door's been replaced. Seems all good. But I got to admit, that dent, that's going to be really hard to fix. And again, I'm not sure it's worth it. You could probably cut one out of a donor car, graft it in, but that is a lot of contour, a lot of body shaping that for this vehicle, I wouldn't want to undertake. But it's an option. A little bit of work. Maybe you got it running, and they are fun. They are fun to drive around in. Anything you'd do to this other than walk past it?
Yeah, I would probably keep on going at this point, but yeah, this is a stick shift, I think, from memory.
Correct.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
5-speed.
So,
yep.
You know, there's definitely a market for the Miatas. There's quite a following. Look, we had a Miata one time. You and I did. I mean, that thing was so mangled. It had been hit so hard. Airbags had gone off. Wasn't much to it, but there was a father-son drove from Wisconsin to Pennsylvania to pick that up.
I think it was Minnesota, actually.
Minnesota? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget it now. It's been so long ago, but they were tickled pink to pick that up because they wanted a motor and drivetrain out of it for a project they were building.
Yeah.
So definitely a following. Anything's possible, but a little more work than I think I have the skill for with the body there.
Yeah, and some of our searches, I mean, we've found some that are $1,000, $1,500 running. So maybe this isn't the one, but again, it's an option. It kind of shows you what's out there. I think you've got the next one for us.
All right. So coming to us from Alabama, Bessemer, Alabama, 1987 Chevy Corvette. Half the budget, $2,500. So there's not a lot of write-up on it, but let's say it and let's talk about it. It says it's good for parts or to fix up. It does say it has a good motor and transmission. It's $2,500. Best first come, first serve. So it's a C4 Corvette. It's an 87, so second year for the convertibles when they came back out in 86. Yeah, it looks like it's there. Maybe from the doors back. You know, it's got a mangled front end there. It's missing the cover for the battery there on the side. I'm not sure if you get the pile of trash on the hood.
Well, you do get a lawn chair to sit and contemplate.
I see that. Yes. Yeah. This falls into, needs work. I don't know how good you are as a body guy. How do we start with the front end? Have seen some better ones out there. Have seen worse. But once again, an example of what is possible. I think the C4 Corvette, see the back end doesn't look bad there.
Yeah.
Complete top, complete. I don't believe there was much in line of photos of the interior on this one.
No.
But yeah, just shows what's available out there. If you take your time, you can probably find something maybe a little better. Maybe not all that much body damage in the front, maybe needs paint or something in the same price point or thereabouts. But I think C4 Corvettes are quite the bargain still at this point in time. Probably won't be forever. I had one years ago. I had a 91 6-speed coupe. Great car.
Remember the 6-speed intimately as we had to change the clutch.
Yes, we did. Yep. 108,000 miles or so changed the clutch out on it. But yeah, it was a good time. Yeah.
Yours was in considerably better shape than this. I think the convertible top is maybe inflating the price on this one a little. As you said, this era Corvette still fairly affordable. You can find a one that's at least intact for this money. But
yeah. So it just wanted to present what's possible out there coming to you from Alabama. So
cool. Yeah. Cool. Well, I've got the next one, which coming to us from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So should have little rust, hopefully. It is well under budget, $1,000. Unfortunately, the information on this one is about as much as we had on the Corvette. But you can HMU, I guess that's hit me up, the seller for more info if you want to. He's not even sure if the miles are right. Needs a starter, apparently comes with one. One of those things where not a lot of time to put effort into it. And I guess that includes taking a decent photo, because this is the only photo posted, and makes you wonder if the distance is a selling tactic to not get up close and personal on the misaligned, absent body panels. And who knows what the other side of this thing looks like. But for $1,000, you have maybe a good starting point for a Z3. It's a fun car if it runs right. Looks like this one, either the shocks are blown out or it's been lowered from this angle, at least.
Oh yeah. It's hard to even see what size tires are on it and all. The mismatched rims, who knows what's truly on it.
Decent front engine, rear wheel drive platform, good weight balance. Pretty fun performance wise. Handles really great. These type of cars. So wanted to show like that, at a lower budget point, you could get into something that could be a lot of fun. Obviously, you got to spend a little time looking this one over. But I think you'd be hard pressed to find a Z3 for even our budget most of the time. They hold their value fairly well. So you may get what you pay for. You may get a bargain with this one. Who knows? Yep.
There's a blue one up the street from me. My son keeps pointing out, sitting in a parking lot. It's been there for almost a year. It's probably abandoned, sitting there with a for sale sign on it. He keeps saying, "Dad, let's go look at it." I said, "No, we're turning and running." Needs quite a bit of work from a distance, so we'll keep driving past it.
Maybe that's the tactic. It needs work from a distance. So keep your distance. We'll see. Yep. All right. Rolling along. You've got, speaking of rolling a 5.0.
I see where you're going with that. So we got a 1988 Ford Mustang 5.0, $1,500. So plenty of budget left. Kind of unique coming from Bowling Green, Kentucky, since we've already talked about the Corvettes down there in Bowling Green earlier. Yep. I guess this one is a wannabe Corvette. But all right, let's see what we have. The guy says last price drop before he decides to part it out. He does have a clear title. 3.73 rear in it, 5-lug drums on the rear, 5-lug conversion on the front. Knockoff Cobra front brake setup with drilled and slotted rotors. Said the 5.0 motor needs to be gone through. He was going to convert it to a 5-speed. Still has the automatic pedal assembly installed. So you have your choice which way you want to go back to or go to. He has a T5 core with the bell housing to go with it. The convertible top assembly is gone.
It's Bluetooth.
Yes. He does have a ton of parts from Fox Bodies that can go with the car. He's asking $1,500 for everything. Good solid project to build. He's looking for serious offers or someone to show up in person. If not, he's going to part it out. So no headlights, no top, mismatched wheels. I think we're going to see the motor sitting on a stand. That side view doesn't look too bad.
I agree.
It looks straight.
There's the motor.
Yeah, got a motor sitting on the stand there.
An angled view of parts in the trunk.
Yep. So he said it comes with all the parts he's got. So.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I mean, it's a decent looking ride, except for the mismatched wheels. Budget wise, I think you're in a pretty decent place. Obviously, the motor hopefully runs, easy to put back together. Source some lights if you need to. Probably not the vehicle I would use to make a drag and drive car, because you have to put a decent roll cage in it or roll bar setup in it. So that'll take a lot of time and money. But having had 91 LX 5.0, they're pretty fun for only having about 225 horsepower or wherever it was. But the 5-speed definitely helps get everything out of the motor that you can. But
they have a great sound when they're set up right and running good. So
yeah, for sure.
Fun car for those high school or college grads, for the projects we were talking about to start the episode.
Totally. And plenty of parts, availability, aftermarket support. Yeah, definitely good. Good.
Not much info on the interior, but it looks like a pair of aftermarket race seats in there. So,
but again, it does say it comes with a ton of parts. So hopefully there's more to go with it. I think we've got one more for this week. We could have found more. We had a bunch that we found. In fact, before we get to this one, I know you're pretty sad.
I am. I had a pick of the week that I had made. Now, I'll preference the fact that, all of our cars at the time that we record are still available on the market.
Yeah.
And this was available, but we went to record, we were putting together the program and come to find out the vehicle had been sold. But, I don't remember the exact year. It was an early or mid 80s Ford F-150 pickup truck that they had chopped the top off to make a convertible, and then they put woody panels down the side. So it was an F-150 woody convertible truck from the 80s. It was pretty unique. I think it was, $2,000 or something in the budget. So, I thought that would have been my pick of the week for the week. But like I said, it's been sold. So we're moving on to, other cars here.
That's unfortunate. We also found, I think, a 70s era Cadillac Eldorado convertible land yacht that had bright blue flames down the front, down the hood and sides. But unfortunately, that sold as well. So we had some fun stuff. But as you mentioned, we want to make sure that this is accessible and what we show is available, at least at the time of recording. So
there you go.
Yeah. So.
All right. So
well, that brings us to our spoiler alert consensus pick of the week. It's a 199999 apparently typo. So I'm batting 1,000. Wasn't sharing the screen earlier. Got all kinds of typos in here, but not too far away from our last ride, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. And it's a BMW 328i. So what is that? A E36 chassis? Don't quote me.
Yeah.
Feel free to put it down in the comments and correct us with this and any of the other errors we make on this episode. But not a ton of budget left, but the reason being is a lot's been done. This is set up as a drift car. So all kinds of parts. It says it's drift or track ready. It's got new coilovers, Mishimoto cooling system. Roll bar, as you can see, cool massive wing in the back that probably does nothing, but it's there. It's got a stage street clutch. The diff has been welded to give it a posi action. All kinds of stuff done to this one. Looks neat. There is no top for this one either, so you still have to plan ahead for your track days. But overall, it looks like it's in decent shape. Says it runs okay. For the money, probably don't have to do a whole lot to get it going. Decent interior. I don't see e-brake handle, so I'm not exactly sure how well it's set up to drift, but is what it is. Cool. Even if you didn't drift it, they're generally pretty fun rides, and BMW reliability, it'll last a long time. Good parts availability. So to me, this is the perfect pick for yourself or for that soon-to-be graduate in your life.
I agree. I think it's a pretty cool vehicle. Looks solid. It looks complete with the exception of the top. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I like the wheels on it. I think it could be a fun time.
Absolutely. this would be a cool one to show up in Cars and Coffee or take it to work on a nice day. Yeah, I think it's great. So
you still got $1,300 left in your budget to do a few odds and ends. I know it said it needed turn signals, didn't work, but maybe it was just a relay or something. But it still gives you a few hours in your budget to do some stuff. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
Maybe pick up 5 gallons of race gas and
let it rip.
See what you can do. Or if you're gonna drift it, save it for a new set of tires. But always liked this body style, the 2-door 3 Series Beamers, and seems like it would be fun. So
I agree.
Yeah. So
we agree on our pick of the week. So
we do, except I'm gonna go back on my pick of the week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel the Mustang coming back in your mind.
I did like my LX 5-speed, but no. I've got a surprise of the week.
Oh boy.
You and I, is circa 1990 something, went to a roadside car dealer a few towns away from where we grew up, and we looked at, I think it was an '88 Samurai at the time that I was ready to buy, and my financial backer, aka Grandma, said no. So we didn't buy it, but I've always had a soft spot for these. So this one's coming from Perka CPA. It's high on the budget, and you got to go, why is it high on the budget?
Okay.
Because it's a rock crawler. It's got super swampers. It has Jeep YJ suspension. So up until 95, 87 to 95 Jeep suspension. It's got reverse shackles in the front. It's got dropouts in the rear. Dana 44s with 488 gears. Up front is a locker, free spooling in the back. 6.5 to 1 transfer case. It's got custom-made Carolina drive shafts, bulletproof diff covers, a Sumo transfer case, skid plates. It's got some sort of exo cage roll bar on it. Maybe a slight downside. It's got a 1.6 liter Chevy motor out of the Geo Tracker, but that's what some of the later of these came with. And I actually disagree with the seller, because the seller says it's not perfect, but what rock crawler is? And my answer is all rock crawlers are perfect. Who cares about dents? You're going to go out, you're going to work your way around some of the trails, a bunch of them PA, not too far from where this is, and you're just going to have a good time. You're going to dent it, you're going to scratch it, you're going to break it, but you're going to have a lot of fun. And so that, my friend, is my surprise pick of the week. Definitely a surprise.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. Big light fixture up top. So
yeah. I doubt it drove up on top of the forklift, but good to see that we've got some suspension travel and articulation. But there's a good shot of the exo cage. So coming together. Sorry, I had to throw it in. It's a late edition, but swayed my pick of the week.
Nice. Full of surprises in his dreams over there.
That's what nap time is for. Well, look, another fun episode. We could have probably picked 100 convertibles. They come up quite a bit. Just a nice sampling of what's available, what you can do. A little bit spring inspired. I know you own a couple of convertibles. They are fun. I do have a Jeep that is technically a convertible as well. There is something to be said for the wind in your hair and bugs in your teeth. It's a good time. So hopefully this has been fun.
Yep. Yeah, I look forward to the spring driving season.
Well, as always, to our viewers and watchers and friends out there, members of Hooptie Empire, Hooptie Nation, thanks for joining us. Let us know what you think. Future show ideas, submissions. You can see any submission we get, we're going to figure out a way to get it into the show somehow. So we're happy to do that. It's just about the fun of looking for the junk, because we love the junk.
We sure do. So until next week, look forward to talking to everybody and hearing from you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Peace all.
See ya.